Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to Girl Chat Sports podcast on Vegas Video Network.
Yeah, our first show.
Our first show.
I'm so excited. All right, congratulations, because you are watching or listening to, however it is, the
Whichever
only sports, whichever you prefer, the only sports podcast in Las Vegas that's all female hosted, maybe even in the country. If you find one, let us know. And we're just here. We're your hosts. We're here to educate you, entertain you.
Yes.
A little of everything else. At least we'll try. So either way, it's kind of like a 2-point conversion. We're just going to go for it, right? We're just going to go for it.
We're just going to go for it and make
see
it
what
happen.
happens.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Sounds
just to let everybody know, let it be known that we are not statisticians. We are not stat geeks. We don't claim to know everything there is to know. Stat geeks.
Okay.
I just made it up.
Okay.
We're going to add that to our show. Stat geeks.
Stat geeks.
Yes. And we don't know everything about sports, but we love sports, and we want to be able to show our passion about sports to other women and as the rest of our followers or listeners, watchers, however you're going to be following us.
Follow us. All right. You can catch us live on Vegas Video Network /live every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
What time?
Pacific. 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. 6. That's many.
That many.
Yeah.
Pacific time.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Because we're over here in Las Vegas. So, yeah, be a part of our live chat. Go on VegasVideoNetwork.com /live so you can ask us questions or taunt us or
Chat with us now. Tell us about
your
our
favorite
hair. I don't know. Give us, your favorite sports team, what we should talk
Ferris for
about.
Gronkowski. We'll get to that in a minute.
Kobe.
So, yeah. Well, I'm Jamie. Kobe.
Sorry.
I'm Jamie Collyer. I am the founder of GirlChatSports.com. So I've been blogging and talking about sports online for about 3 years. And it's the only sports website that I can find that's by women and for women. So this is my lovely co-host, co-founder, awesome teammate, partner.
Aw, thanks. I'm Melissa Ferris. I'm part of the co-founder of GirlChatSports.com and the podcast here. I'm a native from Seattle, so as you can tell by our background, there's a lot of Seattle items. Diehard Seahawks fan. I graduated from University of Washington. Go Dogs, winners of the Apple Cup.
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, don't be mad.
Listen, I forgot to add that I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan since birth, practically birth. However, my NFL loyalties can be bought. Going to the highest bidder, call me.
And they do change frequently depending on the week.
And what state I live in. Although I was not a Toledo Rockets fan when I lived in Toledo, so I missed that bandwagon.
Yeah, you did.
Completely. Oh, gracious.
So anyways, a lot of Seattle stuff. What are we talking about?
We're talking about college football recaps.
Here's the other thing about us. Jamie is huge college football fan. Me, I'm a newbie to this, so I'm learning as we go along. This is our 13th podcast, our very first video, our live show. And I'm the NFL person. I'm all about NFL football. So I'm trying to learn college and give her a bad time here and there about her Michigan Wolverines.
I don't want to talk about it, but I do have a blue cup. So I'm just going to, every time we say Michigan.
I gave you a blue hat. It kind of,
All right. Every time I say Michigan, I'm just going to drink. Do we want to get started with that?
It's a drinking game.
It's a drinking game. We're going to talk about college football.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about an NBA recap, what's going on NFL-wise.
Definite
recap.
NFL, a little bit of fantasy maybe.
Fantasy.
And my favorite.
What's your favorite?
Arms of the NFL.
Ooh.
Yes.
Say it again.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
That's my favorite part of the whole show.
It's the best part of the whole show.
It is probably the best part. I thought I was the best part, but no, you're Arms of the NFL. Definitely take the
We're
cake.
both the best part, but it would be
true.
helpful to have some arms, which I think next week we might have some good arms.
Yeah, we're going to have arms in the studio.
Ooh.
That's a new addition. Yeah, exactly.
Live.
All right, so we have to start our podcast like we start every podcast
Yes.
with our Thursday night matchup. However,
Boom, boom, boom.
we've blown through all of college football, so we only have a Friday night matchup game.
I know
We're
I
on
was
with Thursday
16-6 before this last week. I'm going to just say I'm 17-6, 17-7. I'm going to say I won one and lost one last week because I really don't remember.
We'll have to go back and look at our notes.
I know.
Or live chat us and let us know who we
Or
picked.
live chat us and remind me who I picked.
So who do we pick for? I know Bowling Green for Friday. Okay, we talk about this every single time because Bowling Green apparently is the only Thursday night team. And Toledo was the Tuesday night team. They kept playing on Tuesdays.
Toledo played every Tuesday.
Is that why they kept winning?
I don't know.
Because they played every Tuesday?
They got
all of Toledo came
those
out.
guys are graduating. That's what I want to know. Are you even passing? Because they're missing a lot of school. I would believe.
But they're not going far. They're going to Toledo to Bowling Green, which you're not from Ohio. You don't know. It's very close. Or Toledo to Western Michigan, or Eastern Michigan, or Central Michigan, or I think they all played each other.
Yeah, I don't know
at some point. All right, we'll have to come back to that because I don't have it pulled up in front of me.
Well, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
We can go ahead and talk about your team. There was a big game this past weekend. Michigan and Ohio State.
I don't want to talk about it. But you're going to make me talk about it, right?
Yes, I am.
It's not the Ohio State. I mean, I call it the Walmart and no, I don't do that. But it's not the Ohio State. Well, they are currently now. So we were excited going into the game because we were ranked number 10. You know,
we being
the University of Michigan Wolverines. Okay. My team.
Okay.
I own them. And Coach Kaki and Jim Harbaugh, which I feel like I've talked about for 3 months now. Yeah.
That should be a drinking game right there.
Coach Kaki?
Coach Kaki.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So we went into it. I didn't have a ton of expectations. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. It ended up being 42-13. The Ohio State won. Shut up. I literally turned that game off and turned it on and turned it off.
I was going to have the same recap from last time when you stopped watching and they won, and this time it didn't.
Listen, I only watched 2 games all season because I was working, and both games they lost. And I was like, listen, I was watching it with my family, and I was like, we're turning this game off, and we're turning on HD TV because they're going to win. And then I checked the score, and they didn't at all by a lot. But it was funny because the week before, Ezekiel Elliott, who plays for Ohio State, who had been really frustrated about the play calls against in the game against Michigan State. So he was like, I'm not coming back next year, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows up and like blows it out of the water and is a Heisman Trophy contender.
It's all about the hype.
Blah, blah, blah. But
all about the hype.
I did hear an Ohio State friend, whatever, say, they're not really a friend anyway, say that they were nervous about next year and the year after because once Coach Harbaugh actually has a chance to put together a team and he's not recruiting in a month and like playing with a bunch of juniors and seniors that have already been there, then the Ohio State people are going to get a little worried.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So next year is going to be our year.
Okay. So we're
that's what like the Seahawks said
on next year
when Russell Wilson was a rookie, and they're like, next year Super Bowl, next year.
Well, it was a culminating effort that Pete put together.
But in all fairness, Pete Carroll had been there longer than Russell Wilson, though.
And Pete Carroll is a great coach. Period.
So how's that going?
Hey, we beat the Steelers.
Okay, wait, we're not in NFL yet. We haven't got that far.
You jumped. I was just following. You jumping off a bridge. I'm coming with you. See how that works?
I'm jumping off the Michigan bridge and onto the Toledo Rockets bandwagon. Going straight from one to the other.
You didn't have the matchups. Okay.
Oh, I do have the matchup. No, I don't. Just kidding.
Okay. So we'll just say
I know it's Bowling Green and someone, so pick Bowling Green.
Probably in Eastern, Western, Central,
How is Bowling
Kentucky.
Green still playing football? I don't know.
I don't know.
I should have the game for Friday.
Well, there was an interstate rivalry from my perspective, the Apple Cup.
All right, go ahead and talk about your game.
And Washington Huskies won. That's our third straight this year. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Bing, 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 bing.
All right, this is my Michigan Cup. Cheers to Michigan. Cheers
They
to
won
Washington.
3 straight now. I believe it's like 70 total wins to... It's like a 70-36 tie. Remember we did that last week.
Okay. The 6 ties.
It was like the 1900. It was like literally 1900 to 1905, or 1905. They didn't really, I guess.
They just let games go to a tie.
Yeah, tie. Bam. There you go.
I thought only soccer went to a tie.
Yeah, well, maybe not in 1900.
0-0.
Maybe not in 1902.
1902.
Maybe they're coconut
I bet
counters
in 1902.
and go that far.
Okay, we're going to do an entire episode about rules in football, college football in 1902, because I bet they didn't have 1,200 pages.
That would be something that you didn't
I bet they
know.
could dabbin?
Oh, the dabbin.
I bet they could dabbin in 1902 without getting penalized or anything.
Oh,
let's look that up.
Well, we won. It was in Seattle. The weather wasn't so great. However, we won. And then it goes back to Washington State next year, which that weather is usually crappy then, too. I mean, Pullman, Washington, around Thanksgiving.
Who lives in Pullman, Washington?
Washington State Cougars.
All right. Oh.
People that couldn't get into UW.
I mean. Oh, my goodness. Oh. I mean, that's what I try to say about Central.
Unless you got a scholarship. They just
jumped
off the bridge.
Listen, Cougars, if you need to jump on the Michigan bandwagon, next year's going to be our year. I have a feeling. Mark my words.
Mark your words.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So, a little bit of NBA.
Okay.
The Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, look at those guys.
So they were the champions last year. This year they've come in and gone 18-0.
They didn't even lose at all in the month of November, did they?
No, they haven't lost since last season.
I'm gonna blame the
They're
little
like
girl.
on a 22. I think it's like 22 games or something. I don't know.
What's the little girl's name?
Oh, Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is like going to be the next popular name, and
of course, every kid in about 16 years will be named Riley. So That's right. So they're 18-0. They had broken the NBA record of games, the winning game streak, which I think was 15. They won it by having 16. They're now at 18. When is it going to end? They're just going to keep going. I don't know. So far, there's been no competition.
So I'm not a huge basketball follower until last year, as are you. But now you're in fantasy basketball, so you can be our expert.
Brett, why? My brother put me into fantasy basketball. It's clearly nothing like fantasy football. At fantasy football, you pick your team and it goes for that week, and you're bam, one pick. Get all squared away for the weekend. Fantasy basketball is like every day you have to change your lineup. It's too much. I don't even play. There's some days I don't play.
We're not dudes. We don't have time for that. Do you see this?
I can multitask, but not that kind of multitask.
No, because we have to own fantasy basketball now that I just called us out. Now we have to own it. Because
I was a big basketball fan, and during the Jordan age, I grew up around Jordan. Jordan, my favorite player. Obviously,
not Kobe.
Little bull. Are we going there right now?
No. Listen, for all of those of you who don't know and haven't been following the show, Melissa hates about 3 things.
Yes.
Maybe 4. 3 teams.
The Niners, the Cowboys, and the Lakers. Not in any particular order, but just those 3 teams.
And anybody who ever played or coached or watched or whatever, any of those teams.
Pretty much. And the Cougars. I don't really hate the Cougars. It's just more like your rivalry.
But
the Niners
and
the Cowboys,
This is why, listen, I think you were giving bad juju to my Michigan team.
No, really?
I think you were sending out some bad vibes.
It's not my fault that Coach Kaki decided to jump ship too, like everybody else on the Niners.
Yeah, well, poor Colin Kaepernick.
So
go ahead.
Back to Kobe.
Yeah.
He announced 18 games in that he's going to retire from the league. Granted, Kobe is a phenomenal player. I will give you that. He has great natural talent. He's played 20 years in the league for one team.
But he's old as God.
Well, I'm just saying, he started out of high school. I mean, he started when he was like literally just turned 18. Fresh off the bus. He was literally dating Brandy at that time. Brandy, remember Brandy?
Yeah, the singer?
Moesha? Yeah, her. So, I mean,
where is our picture for that?
He's come a long way. Not to mention Utah, but we won't even go there. So, Kobe announced that after 18 games of clearly sucking at basketball,
he's transferring to the Warriors.
He's like, hey, you know what? And this is what he says. He literally quotes, and I quote this. He says, I no longer want to do this. So 18 games in, you figured that out? Or was it last season? Or was it just now because you suck?
Is he retiring at the end of the season? Or is he like, hey, I'm done, man.
No,
we're 2-16.
He's retiring at the end of the season, which I thought, and maybe I don't know too much. Like, I haven't followed basketball for a few years. Mm-hmm. But I figured when you retire. You announce your retirement towards the end of the season. You usually don't do it to where you have, I like to call it now, the Kobe World Retirement Tour 2015. Buy your tickets now. So
wouldn't that be 2016?
2016, correct.
Okay.
The 15-16.
Is Brandy opening for that?
Yes.
Okay.
She will be.
Okay.
And Ray J. It's a family affair, right?
We need to put that tour together.
So he actually started his tour last night in Philadelphia. And so nice of Kobe. They actually gave Philly their first win of the season.
That. So now Philly's
way to go.
1-17 or 1-18.
Yeah, they are no longer the team of Allen Iverson, which is
they're not the Oakland Raiders of NBA, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
guys.
They're more like the I don't know. Gosh,
we'll have to think of a good
good one.
Okay.
So Kobe is retiring.
Kobe's retiring.
It's been 20 years. Okay, it's enough.
But how old is he actually?
He's 38.
Because Matt Hasselbeck is 40.
Well, hello, Tim Duncan has been there for quite some time too. I'm wondering, when are these guys gonna? But at least Tim Duncan's still good.
So it really doesn't matter your age. It matters if you just come
if
back.
You have the ability anymore.
Oh.
Then there was some rumor like he might go into baseball. I'm like, you know what? It's not enough that
You're
you want to copy Jordan.
Basically
cookie cutter, carbon copy Jordan in all of his moves. But now you're talking about. No, I hope that was a rumor because I wouldn't be able to handle it.
How old can you play baseball? Like, how old was Nolan Ryan when he retired?
I don't know.
Old as God as well. I don't know.
Hey, there's a guy who just gave us a message. Mike Q checking in from PDX. Shout out to the Portland Trailblazers.
Holla.
What's up? I don't know. He just said get the walkers out. I don't know what the walkers are.
Not sure what that means. Old people have
are
walkers.
We old? Is that what we're saying?
Get the walkers out for Kobe with the little
it's like when you're
balls.
50 and they give you their the black and white decorations and the walkers and stuff.
Black and white, like the little great tombstones.
Yeah, no, like all the color, black and silver is like the overall coloring for like people that are getting older.
Oh, I see.
We won't say it too loud because our producer's listening.
Nobody likes us too, clearly.
Well, moving away from that.
Moving away from older people
and getting rid of Kobe. So there is the Kobe Retirement Tour 2016 heading to a city near you.
You know what Kobe needs to do? He needs to go play with the Harlem Globetrotters. Right? Those are always a blast. They come to Vegas. Come on, I grew up on those, like watching them. He could just like migrate into.
That would be like the ultimate. You are crap. Where is your life taking you if you have to do that? I don't know. Yeah, show off that Super Bowl trophy on the side.
Gosh. I don't want to talk. We're not even going to make a Big Ten championship this year, but whatever.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't say that, but you know. So
I said it.
A little bit of NFL news. Thursday night football.
Okay, we got a Thursday night. There you go.
The deal. Every Thursday for the last 3 weeks, they've had these I don't know who's picking the jerseys for these people on Thursday. So 3 weeks ago, we had, I think it was the Giants and Jets. It was all red and then all green. It was what I call the Christmas show.
Oh, yeah.
And it, from what I heard, colorblind people couldn't
figure out what team they were
because it was the same hue of gray.
I shouldn't laugh. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Right. So then the week before after that, there was the Jacksonville Jaguars who were in mustard yellow. Not even like a good mustard. It was like the crusty mustard on the side of
like when you do the top off. It was and it's like that part that you don't want on your sandwich.
So even their stockings were mustard yellow. So. Cut to last week, we had the Cowboys and Panthers. The Panthers, which I do like.
Let's talk about let's stop there for a second.
Well, I like their teal. I do like their teal, but this was a full bodied teal. It was like a, I don't know, a arena league / video game
they looked really immature.
It was all teal, socks included. So Thursdays, I don't know what's happening this Thursday, but I hope somebody changes this stylist or whoever is styling these jerseys. It's terrible.
I don't think NFL teams have stylists.
Well, whoever's picking these jerseys, they must know somebody.
So wait, okay. Let's stop on that for a second because you can get penalized if you want to, put a little something on your face for your mom who had cancer, but you've got to wear these damn teal socks.
Right. Or
like
mustard yellow.
But or mustard yellow.
But you can't put anything on your eye black. And you can't wear pink towels the whole game, the whole season. I don't know, whatever.
Like, who picks those rules, though? I bet 1902 they didn't have teal socks.
I bet 1902 they didn't have socks at all. They had pigskin shoes.
When Abraham Lincoln invented football, okay?
So Thursday night, Cowboys and Panthers. Panthers, at the time, were 10-0. And we're going against the Cowboys, who their savior, Tony Romo, had already come back and won one game for them. One game for them. Granted, they had lost 7 in a row while he was gone, but they did come back. They were playing at Jerry's house, which I like to call because me and Jerry are tight like that now that I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there, of course.
So they went to Jerry's house, and the Panthers just devoured them. So
yes. Exactly.
Panthers are now 11-0. And Cowboys are now without a quarterback again because Tony Romo is injured and out for the season.
Wait, who had the abdominal laceration?
No, that wasn't Romo. That was...
who was that? We were talking about that earlier in this. Oh,
I don't know.
Thanks. We'll look it up.
But...
So Tony Romo's back out.
Tony Romo's back out.
Listen. I put something up on Facebook the other day. Maybe you saw it.
I sent it to my Carolina Panthers fan friend, and I was like,
It was basically this. Okay, Panthers are in 11-0, and they show this big picture of all these Panther fans, right? And they're like, Panther fans, last year's Seattle Seahawks fans, right?
I mean, pretty much.
Like, if you got to jump on a bandwagon, like I was trying to jump on the Toledo Rockets bandwagon when they were 8-0, 10-0, whatever it was.
I jumped the ship, period.
You didn't even get on the ship.
I didn't get on. Anyway, yeah, I didn't. Another surprise that upset some of my parlay tickets was the Bears beating the Broncos. The Bears beating the Packers.
I was like, didn't the Broncos beat the Pats? And let's talk about that.
That we will
but
too.
We'll get that.
So the Bears beat the Packers at Lambeau Field, which is kind of hard to do. I guess not anymore. And it was also the same night that they had the jersey induction for Brett Favre.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Brett, but your team just lost to the Bears.
Yeah. Duh, Bears.
Duh, Bears.
We did, yeah, duh, Bears. That's the only reason I want to watch that team. Duh, Bears.
I know.
SNL skits.
I know.
You're welcome.
We can also talk about the Broncos and Patriots.
Let's
Patriots
talk about that.
Undefeated up until this point.
I am not a Patriots fan. Like, you do have the Lakers and the Cowboys and a couple other teams. No, I'm not a Pats fan. Never been.
I'm not a
even
Patriots
after.
hater.
Oh, I'm a Pats hater.
But they totally took my Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So.
Well, listen, besides the fact that if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan,
Whoop, whoop,
which
whoop.
you clearly are.
Kind of am.
Kind of am.
Just a little
a little bit. Clearly. I just don't like Tom Brady. I don't.
Pretty Tom?
Well, but I do. You know who I do like?
Uh-huh.
Gronkowski.
Oh. We'll get to him in a little bit.
I have like an MCM on him. Man Crush Monday.
Oh, yeah?
And Tuesday. Maybe Friday.
Pretty much every day.
Yep.
Every day is Gronk
Have you
Day.
seen that guy? Every day is Gronk Day. Gronk Day.
So Patriots actually lost their first game to the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning. Brock Osweiler. We have a Montana connection.
Okay.
He was born in Kalispell. I, little known fact, was born in Whitefish, Montana.
No idea what that means.
He was born in Montana. He's freakishly tall. So am I. So that's what happened. He is the quarterback
That's
for the
why
Broncos.
you're freakishly tall? Because you were born in Montana?
Pretty much.
Oh.
I think so. It's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. Maybe like the milk helps you grow really strong.
I don't
tall
know.
or whatever. Okay.
Anyway, so Patriots are now not undefeated, which I love to say. Seahawks had a great game this weekend. I was actually in Mexico with con mi mamá.
Sí.
And we watched the game from the bar in a hotel, and Seahawks played the Steelers. Another gut-wrenching game, but we came out on top and won. However, we are now out. We no longer have Jimmy Graham for the rest of the season. Not like he was being utilized very well this season, period, but he is out, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And that's about
But did you have fun in Mexico?
I had a great time.
Oh, as a side note.
We ziplined. I was laying in the water.
And the week before, you and the 49ers again. You sigh. Have you made 500 yet?
I don't know.
I'm being
No, the
sarcastic.
49ers, the funny thing about the 49ers, they actually had a press conference for Blaine Gabbert, their backup quarterback, and forgot to notify the press.
So Blaine was the only one who showed up.
Yeah, by himself.
Hi, my name is Blaine, and this is my press
Pretty
conference.
much how it is for the rest of the team. Nobody ever wants to show up to the games. Nobody wants to show up for the press conference. It's just
If you're
how it
Blaine, though,
goes.
that's your crowning moment. You're like, hey, by the way, I'm
Right.
backup. Or if you're Matt Hasselbeck or any of the other backup quarterbacks that have to play this year because of all the
there's
injuries.
a ton of injuries,
Like
which
every
has
week
led
it's like injury,
to
injury,
fantasy
injury.
football problems.
Yeah.
Yes. So
How's
my
it go?
guys league, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm now 7-5, and this is the league that the loser wins a sack plaque. Yes, that's right, a sack on a plaque with your name on it. And there's a few guys right now that are freakishly scared of losing and getting that thing and being the very first name on the plaque.
I thought they had to wear like pink T-shirts or something.
Well, here's
Is that your girls' league?
if I win the guys league, whoever the commissioner is makes all the rules. So my rules are having a local Las Vegas draft party, all getting pink hoodies. I make all their names. It should be really fun if I win. So they're probably ganging against me right now, but
But you're going to own fantasy basketball because after, in a couple of
after
weeks,
football is done, I'm going to really motivate myself to work on the basketball.
I'm going to have to do our Thursday night matchup based on basketball games or Wednesday night matchup or whatever it's going to be at this point. I'm going to be like, here are the 17 NBA teams that are playing each other tonight. Let me go through the list. And that's our show.
And that's
the
our
end.
show. So, but some key matchups for this coming weekend, for NFL, the Seahawks travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings, who last weekend, Adrian Peterson had a monster day for the Vikings, who I believe it was to beat the Falcons. He did great. I love Adrian Peterson.
I'm going to side note that.
Hot.
Yes, he is.
Hot. Anyway, and tall. And
Like
tall.
2 T's? Hot with 2 T's?
Yeah, hot with 2 T's and tall.
Is he from Montana?
Gosh, I wish.
That's going to be the inside
Maybe
joke
I would
now.
have stayed
Are you
in
from
Montana if he had
Hey,
been.
what's up?
Oh, gosh, I just see what I do. Bam.
It's not even wine this time. All right,
Not
here we
even
go.
wine this time.
Put
Yeah.
that guy back.
And the Panthers go to the Saints, which Saints haven't been good, but I just feel like there's going to be some team out of nowhere that we don't expect is going to be the Panthers, and
It's going to be the Bears. No, just kidding. I don't know.
I wonder if they play each other.
I always try to root for the underdog, though. I'm always like, Jacksonville Jaguars, go!
Hey, Bortles, I have as my fantasy quarterback, and keep on rooting for him because he is getting me some points. Yes.
He's your fantasy quarterback now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because him and
Tannehill, I can't get him straight. But last week, they both had great games.
Who'd you put in? Bortles?
Oh, okay. I think Tannehill did better, but I still did good, and I still won. So I can't complain.
These are the two things I follow Melissa on. Fantasy and whatever she goes to the sports book and bets, right?
And crab legs.
And crab legs. No, I can't get on that.
I'm addicted.
You're like half my size. I can't do that. So whatever she says to pick for Thursday night matchup, that's what we were doing.
Right.
You were so good.
Right.
And fantasy.
I know.
And now you're going to be the fantasy basketball expert.
One day.
And
I'm going to work on it.
I'll
going to work on it.
Yes. I'll just have to,
So
it'll be the, Melissa Chat Sports show after that.
I know one thing that we can put as Melissa's.
What?
This next segment.
Oh, it's my favorite.
I know it is. So for all of you that are joining us for the first time viewing, you get to actually see as we speak it into existence.
Not just our funny faces.
Yes. It is time for
I got to drink to that.
hashtag Arms of the NFL. Yes.
Woo! Like on that part on Lion King where he's like, Mufasa.
Mufasa. Ooh, say
Arms
it
of the
again.
NFL.
Say it again. Ooh. Yeah. That was
That's
it. Uh-huh.
Exactly.
So first on the list, I've got a handsome man for the Denver Broncos running back, CJ Anderson.
Ooh. Look at this. I don't know that translates, but that's yummy.
That's arm. Mm-hmm. Next, only because we know how diehard of a fan I am of the Seahawks, but also Cams in general. My favorite Cam.
Speaking of that,
Cam Chancellor.
He's so yummy.
We
spent a lot of time talking about Cam Newton or Panthers. So.
And I'm okay with talking about either one, to be honest. But Cam Chancellor does.
It's like we need a moment of silence for these boys, which we will have after the show.
Yes, we will. And next up, just for you.
Just for me.
Just for you.
Oh, dear.
Mr. Rob Gronkowski.
Yay.
I don't know what accent that was, but
I don't know what that
Look
is.
at these guns.
Look at this.
Jeez.
Look at this guy. Oh.
Of course, our producer opted for the clothed one. I actually had a
non-clothed one.
Non-clothed one. And
the unclothed one didn't translate so well, and it stayed on my personal laptop.
I wonder what you're doing later. And then obviously we always have a throwback Thursday since it is almost Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's for tomorrow.
Yep.
Now you can all enjoy it with us. Mr. Eddie George,
who, by the way, also played for the Ohio State,
and spent most of his
Heisman
career
Trophy winner
as a
1995.
Tennessee Titan. Oh, you know stats like that? Are you a stat geek?
I'm a stat geek. I got this, and I may have Googled him in preparation for this show. But
did you?
Yeah, I may have done that.
So you know a few things, and this.
But I just knew that he played
Arms of the NFL.
You do that so much better. You do that like Delilah. Love it.
It's like coffee talk.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, I have so much fun talking about sports with you.
I know.
Like
and we're gonna be here.
This is literally
every
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Where can you find us?
At VegasVideoNetwork.com/live. If you want to watch the live show, and then after that, it's going to be all over the place. It's going to be like on YouTube, Roku. Does anybody watch Roku? I'm sure there's people.
Yeah,
lots of people.
Lots of Roku. Yeah, iTunes. Stitcher.
Our producer has to remind us we're so famous that it's everywhere.
Apple TV, Google TV, Fire TV.
Is that like Kindle Fire
Melissa TV?
Melissa TV.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
All those awesome
Snapchat.
things. Yeah.
We're Snapchat too. I know.
Oh, we have Snapchat. But I mean, I'm sad. I'm actually really sad that college football is winding down, except for the bowl games.
Bowl games will be big.
And the championship.
I'm going to study a little bit for you, just to surprise you.
Okay. I mean, I know Michigan's probably going to end up in like the guacamole bowl or like the nacho cheese bowl, but I'm still proud of my boys.
Well, I'm also a little excited for next week. I think we have a surprise in-house guest. Is that
2
right?
weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. 16th on December.
I'm just
16th,
so excited.
We have a surprise guest with great arms.
Ooh.
Does he know that we're going to talk about his arms?
I think it's going to be a TBT.
But he is a former NFL player and
so TBT
also captain of the Notre Dame football team back in the day.
Yes.
A lot of fun. We've had him in the studio before. We love him. So if you have watched our show at all, you'll probably know exactly what's going on. But yeah.
Shout out to my brother who just said, are you guys reading chats live? And we're almost done. But thanks for tuning in at the very end, Brett.
And thanks for this graphic.
And thanks for our graphic. So
but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Alabama's still on top and all that stuff.
I know.
Of Auburn. But.
So as a wrap up for our show, we're going to do this every week. We don't have balls, but we can cover them.
That's true.